to the Indians. So, yeah, maybe we should. What should we do here? Should we remove all the symbols and all of that other stuff? Oh no, folks, it's never ending. And folks, it will be a country, folks, that you won't even recognize. And in some places, that's exactly what they want. Folks, don't let a few people, folks, speak for the majority of Americans that don't want to be ignorant. And as a matter of fact, they are not ignorant. They don't want to be oblivious to what has happened. We are not lifting up a statue of Adolf Hitler and praising him, though there are people that have memorabilia of Hitler. There's actually and I couldn't believe it when I heard it, but there was a hotel, and I don't know if they still have it, and perhaps they do, in Vegas that has the actual car that Adolf Hitler rode around in. Where was the outrage then and there? I mean, how terrible. But they put the thing in the lobby as, hey, look, hey, we secured Hitler's car. Wow. How notable. Donald Trump yesterday, I played this, but I'm going to hear just a little bit here, and then after the break, we'll hear a little bit more. But, be reminded what Newt Gingrich had to say earlier today, and this is what he had to say before we play the speech. As a matter of fact, we'll just take the break in just a little bit, but here's Newt.
He said every single thing that his critics on the left want. There's an anti-Trump movement in this country that will never, ever be satisfied as long as he's president.
And I think Newt Gingrich is absolutely correct on it. Donald Trump didn't start the fire. He wasn't the one. Now, did he stoke emotions? Just like people do on the campaign trail? Yes, they did. Obama did it. Bush did it. Trump did it. Did he rev up people to say, we're going to take America back? We're going to make America great again? White supremacists took it out of context to say that they were going to make it greater in their way. That's on them. But you can't pin this one on Trump. Trump on Twitter made additional remarks that Charlottesville. He says, I realize once again that the fake news media will never be satisfied. Truly bad people. Folks, there's this war that's going on in our country, but it's been going on. I think that's what Donald Trump alluded to, and it is on both sides. The election made it very clear on where people stand morally and ethically, religiously, and so many different things that are contentious, hot-button issues. It's amazing what riles people up in our country. What gets dangerous is when people mow down people in cars, shoot people, and attack people. But that's what evil does. Now, there were a lot of people on both sides that were peaceful protesters. Peaceful. And then, for whatever reason, they decided to take it a step further, and it got personal. And it's amazing, these civil rights characters, all of them, Robert E. Lee's been dead for quite some time. It's history. And people are taking it out of context, literally, and making it something that it shouldn't be. And to me, it's a shame because it shows ignorance for people that act like this. Now, people are more than able to go out in the public square. If they don't like something, they can go ahead and they can protest. That's our right as Americans. I'm not saying anything negative about that. If you don't like it, if it's offensive to you, you can speak out. You can say what it is that bothers you. But to me, erasing history is not the answer. That's not going to give you the satisfaction. That's not going to calm your hearts for what happened. Unfortunately, what's happened. And what I have seen to be the problem with a lot of folks is they can't accept it. And the biggest one is that they can't accept Donald Trump as being the president of the United States, because what they're saying is, not my president, not my president. Tearing down a statue, there was some kind of chant or something like that. What were they saying?
No KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no
Let's hear the beginning of that again one more time.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No cops, no
Yeah, no fascists, no KKK. Well, that's great. We don't want any KKK. We don't want any fascists. We don't want any neo-Nazis or any of those things. That's cool. But taking the statue down is not getting rid of those folks that are in our country. They're still here. I saw people kicking the statue that they removed. Big deal. They were getting hurt. I saw a guy limping away. Really made people feel better. The Confederate flag, it still exists. The Confederate War happened. We know what history brought. We get what happened, don't we? Did we not learn from what history taught us? And maybe I think we need a good history lesson. Perhaps some understanding. I think there's just a lot of misdirected anger, misdirected frustration. I think people are been stoked up in a very negative way. Donald Trump spending some time at the Trump Tower, maybe 1,000 or more that were protesting outside the Trump Tower. And I think to myself, do you really have nothing better to do on a Monday night than to stand out there and say that that's not your president? That's not your country? Did you not see or hear anything that Barack Hussein Obama did in 8 years? Oh, that's right. That's right, because things were actually getting worse. I'm convinced that there is an element in our country that actually wants us to not do well, wants us to slip into oblivion. And folks, I don't want that to happen to our country, and I don't think most of you want that to happen as well. Folks, our history is our history. We're not going to change that. It's what we do in the future. And folks, erasing history is not a good beginning. We'll be back right after this.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people, for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us and went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew was I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it, don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
For the People is on the air for you. Each day we strive to tell it to you straight, not watered down, so you can know what's going on each day. Our show is different from many of the others on air. We're not afraid of the PC police, and we explain our position, at the same time understanding the left's position and what we can do to further a conservative agenda for America. For the People is listener-supported and relies on listeners like you to help us get the word out. So, if you like what we do and want to help For the People, sign up today at our website at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Your support allows us to report the news fearlessly and guarantees our survival on the air. As a thank you, we'll send you our monthly newsletter with commentary and money-saving tips. Can we count on your support? Thank you for helping America. To become a For the People member, log on to forthepeopleshow.com. Now, get ready, get set for 123 Ready TV, the brand new app that everyone's talking about for your PC or Android device that allows you access to most every movie or TV show ever made. Sound incredible? Well, it is, because once you pay $19.99, that's all you pay. Just the movies and TV shows you like without the hassle. The internet streams everything already. What 123 Ready does is it finds them, then delivers them directly to you, commercial-free. There's nothing quite like it, and it's available now at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And before you buy 123 Ready TV, watch the video and see how simple it is to start watching all those movies and TV shows. If you like movies and TV shows, but don't enjoy paying for all of them, no problem. Just pay $19.99 and start enjoying countless titles and entertaining TV better than anyone. Get your 123 Ready TV for $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page. For the People is back on your radio or your smartphone device, streaming at forthepeopleshow.com. And remember, hours 1 and 2. You have to look for it. Hours 1 and 2 at forthepeopleshow.com. You can see it in the title bar in the media player. And believe me, if you've missed 1 hour, just 1 hour For the People, you've really missed a lot. Everybody tells me that. Once they find it, now we're starting to get equal play on both 1 and 2. In the beginning, when people did not understand, because, look, we just went 2 hours about a month and a half ago. Our network, Liberty News, thank you so much. Sam Bushman, he said, an hour is just not enough. And stations, they need more content, and we need you to go to another hour. So how do you refuse that? So people are starting to get trained, and I have to occasionally let you know about these things. A little shop talk here. ForThePeopleshow.com when you want to listen to the full hour. Now, some of the stations just carry the hour. So if you want to listen to the second hour, or you can just bribe the station somehow and tell them to carry the second hour if they're not already doing it. But we're grateful that they carry the first hour or the second hour, whatever it might be. And always listen to your local radio station. Always do that, because, man, that's still the gold signage for me. If you're still you're on a station. I mean, podcasts are great, but we love the radio, love being on it. All right, so Bernie Sanders, he could not help himself but to weigh in. We're talking about Senator Bernie Sanders, the guy who ran for president here. He says that Donald Trump, not a surprise, is partially to blame for the Charlottesville terror attack. Now, according to the Burlington Free Press, you can look this up, Sanders was telling reporters that he felt Trump had partial responsibility for the violence in Charlottesville. He was partially responsible.